Hello again, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. Check out all my videos on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, at Darth Tuba, my Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page. Like, subscribe, share, spread the word about all things Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. Okay, continuing with our Last Jedi openings. We are back to the Disney store with 3 exclusive to Disney items. We've got 2 more from the Elite series, Chewbacca, which comes with a few porgs, as well as Finn, but Finn in the First Order uniform disguise. And then we have BB-9E, who is the evil BB-8, or some like to call him BB-8. Okay? So he likes to set up a lot of alarms and whatnot. So we're going to open up all 3 of these today. Okay, so I'm going to move BB-9E off to the side here. And let's move Finn here. We'll start with Chewbacca because I am really excited about getting to those porgs. Okay, so as I was saying, the Elite series, kind of Disney's take on the action figure. A little different. For those who don't know, they're more metallic. They have a lot of weight to them. They're extremely heavy. So I would caution everyone who is thinking about purchasing them, make sure that you have not just adequate space to display these, but adequate places to actually put the weight, something that can withstand the weight, because these things can be very, very tricky. Also, opening these, I've actually been hesitant. I have in my collection an Elite series that is like a box set of about 6 or 8 figures. I decided actually to keep them in the box because, well, one thing, the display piece is pretty nice, and for the other thing, it's just so hard to open them. And well, and I've already opened a lot of them. There were just a few exclusive pieces with them, but these are nice. They come with stands. I will say this: a criticism I have of the Disney attempt at this is that the stands tend to not always hold up. I think just partially due to the fact to the extreme weight of the figures. So I would wish that they that they might. I'm hoping in the future that they'll make some improvements on that. And taking them out of the box, as you can see, is a bit of a challenge. I have kind of learned the proper technique to do this. One of the first ones I opened up, I think it was a Stormtrooper or a First Order Stormtrooper, and I actually scratched it trying to open it up because the pieces that I was using, unfortunately, scratched the metal, which very easily scratched the paint. So you got to be careful with it. I've gotten better at it since then. And they also keep this thing extremely loud. Look at what I'm pulling out here. There's like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 different very, very strong cables. So I just advise everyone to be patient when they're doing it. Although I'm getting pretty good for, again, for an unboxing show, just doing it without editing it down. But I do like the Elite series. They are a different size. They're a little bigger than Black series. I would say that they are about 8 inches instead of the Black series 6 inches. But they are, excuse me, they are quite detailed, and I like the fact that Chewbacca comes with the porgs. Who would have thought that, again, for the, spoiler alerts, who would have thought that Chewbacca would have been the comic relief, But he was, and I think he did a really nice job. I think the new actor, Jonas Suetonius, doing the justice to the character, and I know he's kind of officially taken over the role as Mr. Mayhew has made a decision to retire, and I don't blame him. I understand, some people get very aggravated, like, oh, it's not the same. I'm like, guys, you know what? Don't get all caught up in the Superman syndrome. And what is the Superman syndrome? I said, well, the Superman syndrome is very simple. At one point, there was an actor, I can't even remember who his name was, who played Superman in the serials, the Saturday morning serials. Well, eventually he gave up the role, and people moved on to television, and George Reeves took over the cape for Superman. And then due to some unfortunate circumstances in George Reeves' life, which actually abruptly ended, he was replaced eventually in the 70s with Christopher Reeve. And Christopher Reeve did a wonderful job with that character. And then eventually Brandon Routh took it over years later. And now we have Henry Cavill. Okay, there was also, and I'm not even mentioning the gentleman who played him as Superboy, the voice actors, and the gentleman, the young actor, or not so young actor now, who played him in Smallville. Okay, and then we have a new actor that plays him in all of the DC TV universe. My point is that Superman is being played by many, many people, and just like the character of the Lone Ranger has been played by multiple people, the character of Robin Hood. Okay, and if we're going to have our own mythology, and we're going to want to have people playing and carrying on the roles, we need to be willing to accept that people eventually have to give up the role. And they're really just hosting it until the next person comes along. If a character has a lot of staying power, look at Mickey Mouse. I mean, Walt Disney was the original voice of Mickey Mouse, but then it went on to other voices. Wayne Allwine did it for a while, and now there are two actors voicing Mickey Mouse. One who does it for the parks and Mickey's Clubhouse and things of that nature, and one who does it for the actual Mickey Mouse cartoon. So you have to learn to let go and understand that. So Jonas, I welcome you as the new Chewbacca, and it sounds like Peter Mayhew is also really fond of the way you've done things. All right, but let's get on to the figure itself. So here we go. We have our our little porgs. Oh, I'm a big porg lover. Porgs are awesome. Okay. If anybody wants to follow my wife on her Twitter feed, she has a new Twitter account where it's more for fun, for Star Wars and Disney related aspects. So if you want to follow her there, her new Twitter feed is Rogue Porg Fan. So look for Rogue Porg Fan, and you will find Cindy, and she will most likely, if you just reach out to her and let her know who you are, she'll most likely friend you. Okay, this one porg is being a little difficult. He does not want to stand up. Oh, there he goes. He heard me. And I'm very gently going to slide Chewie up here. Okay, by the way, we also found out that there's a children's book that came out called Chewie and the Porgs. Okay, and I know it sounds kind of silly and childish, but it's actually really cute, and there's a lot of fun art and a lot of great illustrations with with Chewie interacting with the Porg. So, just something to consider. All right, next up we have the costumed Finn, meaning he was dressed in the First Order officer uniform to try to get in. By the way, speaking of this, I gotta give a shout out to Rian Johnson for his, for many things. He did a great job. I was very happy with The Last Jedi, but I was extremely happy with what I felt, I don't even know if he meant to do this, but it's what felt to me like his tribute to the parody Hardware Wars. Yes, you heard me. Hardware Wars, the very first Star Wars parody that came out shortly after the movie Star Wars came out, where they were using mechanisms like irons and mixers and toasters as the spaceships, and it was really funny. There was a scene which looked like a ship landing, and everyone kind of looked at it and said, that's interesting, but it kind of looks like an iron. And it turns out it wasn't iron. It was iron. It was a droid ironing uniforms, which I thought was awesome. Okay, whether or not that was meant to be a direct tribute to Hardware Wars, I don't care. I'm taking it as such, and I thought it was very well done. So, thank you, Ryan. All right. And, I was mentioning in previous episodes, too, about the interesting take that different people are taking on their stance of the Last Jedi film. And it sounds to me like, like I said last time, that there are many people that were happy with it and some that were unhappy with it, which I think is always the case. But I also have to say that it's still making millions and millions of dollars in the box office. And that doesn't happen unless you go to see movies twice, or just a lot of people go to actually see the movie. So I'm thinking that Disney is kind of saying, well, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but it doesn't really affect phase us much, because, you know, if you really don't like something, you got to say it with your pocketbook and not buy it, not see it. And it doesn't seem like a lot of people are choosing to do that. So I think the movie can safely be said it's a successful movie. That's, you know, from a financial and critical standpoint. So we will see where they go from here. But I do enjoy, you know, there have been a lot of interesting conversations. I've been enjoying some new theories that have been coming out. I like theories. I don't think that theories are a bad thing, as long as everybody just takes into account that, you know, you're not the one making the movie. You have a theory, and if the theory comes true, great. If the theory does not come true, you know, let's have a mature attitude about it, which most people that I communicate with seem to. I did have one comment of someone who was underwhelmed with The Last Jedi on YouTube, and I, you know, respectfully disagreed with him, but I appreciated the feedback nonetheless. And that's the thing, you know, let's all try to be civil with each other. At the end of the day, you know, someone has a right to like or dislike any movie. Okay, there's no reason to get on their case if they don't like it, or make a big deal about it if they love it. Like I said, my opinion is my opinion. I don't really expect anyone else to agree. I just have my opinion. So there you go. It's all right. So as I'm putting Finn, get his foot through the peg here, it seems as though there might have been some peg improvement, because normally I just had to rest the pegs in, but now it seems like they are truly getting in there. There's still a lot of weight to these figures, okay? So you got to be careful with that. But nonetheless, it is a gorgeous figure, and they do a really good job of hiding a lot of the mechanism that they need to keep it in there, because it's metal. So that's really cool. Looks like, ooh, this is interesting. Oh, okay, so they have like a little, you get a little mini poster with these, which also includes a little catalog on the back. Okay, nice. That's kind of a mini throwback to some of the original Power of the Force line. All right, and we'll bring back BB-9E. Okay, and let's see how we do with this. This is, I think, one of the first. I don't think I bought any other items like this from the Disney store or shop, or the Disney, you know, parks or whatnot. I think that they do a nice job, but I also feel like they, you know, we as collectors are limited into how much we can purchase. You know, there's just so much out there. Like, I don't even get all of the Elite series. I just got some of them. And, you know, I noticed that they did have them on sale. Yeah, I do try to find these. I bought new. And again, some of that's by design. I buy some things right out of the gate to support the retail establishment, because I'm afraid that if you don't do that, you, as I mentioned in previous videos, you run the risk of them just no longer making it. I mean, you know, let's face it. For those that weren't around, the last thing any of us want is another Dark Times. Oh, what are the Dark Times, do you ask? Well, for those youngins out there, there was a time between 1986 and 1994 where there was not a single item of Star Wars to be found in the stores. That the only people enjoying Star Wars were us, you know, 20-something-year-old collectors who would usually go into antique stores and toy shops or toy shows, that type of thing. And we were the ones purchasing the figures, sometimes at grossly inflated prices. But that was it. There wasn't anything else. There weren't any new movies. The last thing that came out as a cartoon was the Droids and Ewoks cartoon. So there wasn't much going on. So that was the dark times. But then two things happened. Number one, Lucas announced that he was dabbling with. Well, first thing happened was the novel Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn came out, and it was on the bestseller list for many months, and people really loved it. And it basically told what is now a fictional story of, I say fictional as if The Last Jedi was real. What I mean is, it was a canon story about the characters and what happened to them after, 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And it was just great to be able to revisit those characters again. So awesome. And it was so much fun. All the characters were back, and they new characters. Plainly obvious that Star Wars was definitively back, and people were interested. And that's what prompted Lucas to strike a deal with Kenner and then eventually Hasbro to purchase, to make new toys. So in '94, that's when we started seeing new toys again in the in the stores, and that was awesome. So there was truly an awesome thing, return to the amazing world of Star Wars collecting. All right, so now let's see. What are my little? Okay, so we already have the batteries. Oh, it looks like. Am I missing? Oh, there they are. I was going to say, what'd they do with those? We have three little, 2 short and 1 long. 2 short. There's 1. Of course, now it's hard to imagine, I'm sure, a time before where there was no Star Wars. But it was there, folks. There was a time before Star Wars even existed, but then there was the other time where Star Wars came and went. So appreciate that there's a lot out there, folks. Not just for Star Wars, but for all franchises, all venues. Because it's crazy to think that there were times where it didn't happen. Okay, we've got the batteries, we got our little things in. Now I do believe we have normal mode, voice mode, and so what's voice mode? Okay. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Huh. Oh, there you go. So I don't believe this is a remote control droid like Sphero, but I do believe that it's going to totally take out Finn. All right, let's go to voice mode. Hello? I don't want to. It's hard to do this on a table. Hello? What's up there, BB-9E? All right. So clearly, you want to have this on a ground surface where he's able to move around and do what he wants to do. So pretty cool. All right. Now I'm going to turn you off. Check. All right. Good. So that will do it. Okay. There is your BB-9E. There was a Sphero one. I did get it. We will have an unboxing with that shortly. But for now, I wanted to kind of go with the simpler model. Okay. But overall, really liking the improvements. I do believe that they have seriously made it easier for them to stay on their stands. Awesome job, Disney. Please keep it up. For these kind of things, they're fun. They're not, I wouldn't call them anything to go crazy about. I do believe I got this one later on sale. These two I bought, I think, very close, more recent. No, actually, I think I might have got them all on sale now that I think about it. Because I don't know if they had too many of the new ones out at Force Friday. So at the time I went looking for them. So, Disney always has some good sales. So if you're into this, I will say not much going on with BB-9E during the Last Jedi. He had a quick scene, but he did kind of foil the plans of the good guys. So he was an active participant. He wasn't just roll across the screen. He just had more to do in the Verizon commercials if you've looked and you've seen them. So what are you going to do? But it's neat. I like the design of the droid. I like that there's an evil one, quote unquote. So pretty cool. So that'll do it for this episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. Thank you for watching. Be sure, again, to check out all my videos and like, subscribe, share, click the notification button. I know some of you might be wondering about the winner of the giveaway from a few past episodes ago. I will be announcing that, but not right away. Okay, so I have chosen at this point. So don't enter any more contests with the idea to win. But do not worry, because whether you win or not, I will be doing another giveaway very soon, and I hope to do it maybe on a monthly basis. Okay, just kind of hard sometimes. Day job makes it busy, makes it harder to do that. So we will see, but I will get one going again very soon, and I will announce the winner for the Prass one very soon. Thank you for your patience. Have a wonderful day, and go out and see The Last Jedi for like the 4th or 5th time if you haven't, because it's awesome. And may the Force be with you.